You are going to ask why on earth I would work at a circus if I was afraid of clowns. And that's shitty of you, because you know the answer. I had no other option. People weren't exactly hiring in my skill set. None. At the time. But I gotta eat. So I took the first job offered. That just happened to be a circuit in a traveling circus. Don't get me wrong. I've got nothing against the artists. They're good guys. Would give you the shirt off their backs. But once they put on the face paint, I don't know. It just gives me the willies. I tried to hide it, but of course, everyone found out. There was a lot of teasing, but what can you expect? They were all thinking what you were thinking now. Anyway, I decided the only way to conquer my fears was to face them head on. So whenever a clown jumped out at me, or I found a clown mask in my bunk, I just grinned and bore it. Now, there's something to know about the circus. There are two types of workers. Ones who were born into the life and aim to die here, and people down on their luck and passing through. There's so much turnover, it's hard to keep track of who's who sometimes. So when I saw a clown I didn't recognize, I assumed it was a new hire. I was up at the arch picking up trash chucked by idiots waiting in line. That's what happens when you don't have any talent to speak of and work at a fucking circus. I'd paused to give my poor back a break when I saw a flash of color in the tree line. "Hey," I said. "No loitering. Either get in line or get your ass out of here." I've got a bit of a mouth on me. It's why they didn't put me in a customer service position. Well, when I yelled, the figure came out of the trees. And wouldn't you know, it was a fucking clown. I'm not exaggerating when I say my asshole clenched at the sight of those oversized shoes and white face paint. "Hey man," I said, forcing a smile. "Sorry, thought you were a guest." He didn't say anything, just stared at me with a giant smile. "You Adam? Or Elijah? Sorry, I'm not good with names." Instead of answering, he reached up and squeaked his nose. I forced a laugh. Very funny. Sure, this will make a great story for the boys later. I turned around and started back for the circus entrance. I was doing my best to put on a brave face, but God, I was wound up like a fucking mousetrap. I hadn't gone 2 steps before I heard another squeak, except it didn't come from behind me. It was to my left. Time seemed to slow down as I turned. Stepping out of the woods was another clown, this one with curly red hair and a big red bow tie. Haha, my voice shook. I looked from one clown to the other. "Nice one, guys. You got me good." Neither of them moved. I giggled nervously and was about to head out when I heard another squeak, right behind me. Slowly I turned around so scared I thought I was going to puke. Not a foot away stood the largest clown I'd ever seen. His arms so muscled his polka dot shirt strained against them. A hilariously small bowler's hat sat atop his bald head, and a large plastic daisy was tucked into his lapel. Even with all the makeup, I knew he wasn't part of the circus. "Hey," I said, rooted to the spot in shock. "Hey, who the fuck are you?" Something sprayed out of the fake daisy, hitting me full in the face. I gagged and stumbled, black spots flashing before my eyes. As I tried to reorient myself, the other two clowns approached, their big shoes flopping as they walked. Their painted smiles turned predatory. A moment later, I was on my hands and knees, head swimming. 3 pairs of giant shoes clustered around me, the clowns looming silently above. The next second, my head hit the ground, and everything faded into blackness. I don't really remember the next part so good. There was a lot of laughter. I remember that. All kinds of laughing, ruckus laughter, high-pitched giggles, barking chuckles. At one point, there was laughter that sounded like crying. It never stopped. I remember it hurt. That was another thing that never stopped. It felt like my skin was being stretched like taffy, and try as I might, I couldn't move. There was something talking to me, someone in a white coat, but he couldn't be a doctor. Doctors don't wear white face paint and red squeaky noses. Now, he kept saying, and his hands were moving, but I couldn't see what he was doing. Just settle down. It'll all work out. You see? You'll be much happier once we're done. The next thing I knew, I was in an ambulance. I'd been missing for 4 days. By the time they found me, I wasn't doing well. There must have been some drugs in that damn Daisy, because it about wiped me off the map. The cops searched the warehouse where I'd been discovered, but they didn't find who took me. They did, however, find a lot of surgical tools, all of them covered in my blood. The doctors tried to fix me. I know they did. They worked with me for months, trying to undo what those psychos made me into. And they succeeded. A little. My feet are almost normal size again, and I can walk okay. My nose looks like a normal nose now, but they haven't been able to fix the smile. I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror. Every time I do, I just see. My therapist says it'll get better with time. What the fuck kind of advice is that? How long do I have to wait until the sight of my own face doesn't terrify me? Well, today I found out. Dr. Foster gives me exercises. They're supposed to help me adjust. One of them is looking in the bathroom mirror. At first, I couldn't look at myself. I looked at anything else. The towel rack, the bathtub, my makeup bag. But gradually, I made progress. I could look at the top of my head. They didn't touch my hair, thank God. Then at my forehead. I moved on to my eyes, which were bloodshot and dark circled, but still mine. My 2 big ears, but those are just from my dad's side of the family. Then my nose, which I actually liked better after surgery. But I could never look at my mouth for longer than a few seconds. It's grotesque. It's frozen in an insane smile. The corners pulled up into my cheeks, exposing my coffee-stained teeth. Nothing makes the muscles relax. The doctors still don't know what those freaks did to me. I had to look away when I got to my mouth. Usually, I'd curl up on the couch and cry for hours. But today, I had an epiphany. I was struggling not to look away when I realized what it was that bothered me. There was something missing. My mouth looked unfinished. Then the light bulb clicked on in my head. I rifled around in my makeup bag, tossing away blush and eyeliner. What I was looking for was the bottom. With a rush of exhilaration, I took the lipstick and started drawing on and around until finally, my face looked complete. I set the red lipstick aside and surveyed my handiwork. It looked even better than I'd hoped. I guess a clown isn't really a clown without her painted smile. Shout out to my superfans, Sweet Black Swan, Tacy, and Brooklyn. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel, and I really look forward to making more content for everyone.